Got too many layers on today, Jeff. It's warm.
It is. 10 degrees. Positively balmy.
In a village, no need to take position. Okay, decision point coming up. Keep your eye on the observer. Right-handers, obs, sequencing. Well, I'm out with the chairman today, Jeff, taking me on an interesting route. I'm working very hard today on my mirrors, my rear observation, trying to anticipate where he's going to make me turn, so very sort of a towny route today, so working really hard on my observations. Information and position are going to be the two legs on which my motorcycling stands on from now on. Scan, plan, move, that's my other little thing I've memorised. I'm tending to do all three together, so just trying to put some space between each of those. Mechanical empathy, something else I got picked up on the last observe. I made the point on my on the GSA test ride that I don't want to ride two ways, I just want to ride one way. I want to try and internalise as much as I can of what I'm being taught. It's the only way to learn, really. Little moggy thousand there. Amazing how many of those are still on the road. So I've been instructed that when I'm in an urban or a village situation there's no need to position, in the sense of position, curb, crown, command. You just split the difference between the hazards, because in effect there aren't any corners. When I was at Wollaston's BMW on Thursday, I asked the salesman just to give me a price, just out of curiosity, to trade up to the GS Adventure. Although is it a trade up or is it a trade sideways? Good question. And one of the things he picked up on was the fact that the bike needs a new front tyre. So, being as I was on a Sunday morning surrounded by advanced motorcyclists with a vast amount of experience, I asked their opinion about the tyre as well. And John and Jeff, so John was the IAM master who took me out last time, and Jeff is the chairman, again both masters level riders. They took a look at the front tyre, and in their opinion the tyre is worn unevenly, i.e. on one side, on the right hand side of the tyre as I face forward, the offside, the wear is actually more. Now then, if you've been following my sort of my saga, then you'll be aware that I find left-handers very straightforward, but for some reason the right-handers I've been struggling with, really, because the bike feels more twitchy. And I was putting that down to lack of confidence, or possibly an eyesight issue with a dominant left eye. But of course the question that we're asking ourselves now Is it the tyre? So, this week I shall be fitting a new tyre, and we'll see whether that makes any difference. Wouldn't that be interesting? So, scan, plan, move, mirrors, approaching the national speed limit, plan to accelerate, and off we go. Car indicating up ahead, spotted him. No signal from the chairman, so keep barrelling on ahead. Yeah, the feeling I have on the right-handers is that when the bike is pointing right, it doesn't feel as stable. And I've been putting that down to my lack of ability, but maybe it is the tyre. Not that I'm blowing my own trumpet, you understand? Okay, so national speed limit up ahead. Scan, plan, move. Mirror check. Good to go. Have I missed him? There's a considerable amount of flooding actually. Missed the NSL speed limit there. Right, this will be tricky then. 5-way roundabout. Which way are we going? I'm assuming straight ahead. Bikers are out this morning. Yeah, I did, thank you. Yeah, I got too close to a Mercedes going through a town. I missed the 30 to 60 speed limit coming about 5 minutes ago.
You sign on the left.
Yes.
There's not one on the right. So.
Yeah, but funnily enough, I picked it up on my sat nav, so that's cheating. But I thought, because I was trying to work out what should I be doing now, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's always those, you know, if you default to, I should be doing 30. You're not going to get a ticket, but you're going to get everything gathering behind
yes.
you.
Yeah.
But yeah, speed limits must be assigned both sides of the road for them to be mandatory.
Oh, is that right? Interesting. Yes. So it's just on one side of the road?
It's probably something to do with the road down there, or else somebody's knocked the sign over. But they shouldn't be able to prosecute you for speed limit.
Okay, interesting.
Infringement, because there's only one. Because you could be expected to miss that with a truck,
yeah.
etc. If you're anyway.
Well, there was a 40 we suddenly came into as well, which only seemed to have a very small sign. Now, I did spot it actually, so I was quite pleased with myself about that. But
you've not done anything dramatic.
No.
Slow speed stuff through the towns, positioning pretty good. Like I say, there was a white car coming out of a junction where I'd have yielded more for that.
Okay.
Otherwise, you know, slow speed, 30 mile an hour, good positioning, good thinking, see you looking. There was, when we come up to some push bikes on a national,
yeah,
I think we're going to be slowing down soon.
And they were trying to turn right?
No, there were some push bikes actually. There was a car coming the other way,
yeah,
and you were trying to set your speed, but you ended up taking a lot of speed off right near them because the car coming, you were going to pass them at the same time as the car.
Yeah.
You didn't, but you should shed a lot of speed then. Try thinking about it. You knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
Back off a little bit more. It's all smooth.
Okay.
Rather than,
yeah. Yeah.
You know, but that's just.
It's a bit digital at the moment, isn't it?
You're getting there though.
Mm.
It's, you know, from considering the last time we went out, which was what, 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Much better.
Good. Thank you.
Much smoother. And get up to speed a bit quicker when you're in the Nationals.
Yeah.
We're getting pressure from the back.
Yeah. Coming off that big roundabout when we crossed the A40, whatever it was. Yeah.
I mean, that's a 70 mile an hour road.
Yeah.
You can get up to 70 faster than most cars. Not suggesting that you're standing on its heels, but there's stuff starting to overtake us before we get up to speed.
Yeah.
If a car's doing that, we should be up there.
Yeah.
And then we've got control of the situation rather than having a car sandwich us in.
So try and build that buffer then with the guy behind if you
keep
can.
the buffer there, which bikes have got two advantages over cars. They go through spaces that cars won't, and you've got the visibility because you can move.
Yeah.
You've got acceleration.
Yeah.
Don't get into a braking competition with a car.
Yeah.
Because they'll normally win.
Right. Yeah.
They don't mind if they hit something when they hit everything. So they're sat there in a nice tin box. We're not. We're very vulnerable. But that was a lot better.
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot better. We've got a bit more fun stuff now, which is Nationals. Think about getting into position a little bit earlier. And the roads now are pretty good, so you can actually start thinking about slightly more extreme a position to get the advantage. Not stupidly extreme. Only one other thing I'd say is that a lot of the time you were riding through the muck that's gathered in the centre. Now, that's in towns, we haven't really got a lot of option. Get out onto the A's and the quicker stuff, that's where the limits of adhesion will be challenged.
Well, would you sit right of centre or left of centre there, Jeff?
Depends which was.
Depends, you're going to say it depends, aren't you? Yes, right,
it
okay.
all depends.
But on a straight road?
On a straight road, I'd probably be sort of, if I didn't want to be riding more central, I'd probably be riding more towards the crown.
Yeah.
Because there's more rubbish that side of the road, and if there's a car coming, you're going to have to yield. But crossing it is something you don't really want to be doing all the while if there is a big build-up, and there has been because of the snow.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at trying to get position for view, look well ahead.
One of the things I've been trying to cut out is trying to, because Jonathan picked me up on this last time, is getting maybe into almost like an extreme crown position, where almost into the decapitation zone sometimes, that he called it.
Well,
so
decapitation zone, if you're on the wrong, if you're leaning that way,
yes,
on a crown,
yeah,
you'd normally expect to be leaning that way.
Yes, yeah,
because you're going around the left hand on the crown.
Yes.
Or if you're going around a right hander, you'll be nearer the curb.
Yes.
So yes, no decapitation. And also remember how wide your panniers are, which you're not on today.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does add a bit of distance. There's a nice little clip on our website of spatial awareness, where two people on hired GSs with the big square boxes came up to have a conversation at the traffic lights, and the box banged him forward a bit because the box is hit. Just be aware of it.
Well, I think what I'm learning, there's actually quite a bit of leeway, isn't there? Because I think I've been exaggerating some of the positions, either far to left or maybe much too close to the right hand side, and actually there's almost like a sensible middle ground sometimes.
Everything in advanced riding is shades of grey.
Yes.
There's no absolute. If somebody says you must, I will be challenged.
Well, after that last observe with John, I nearly went out and bought him a t-shirt that says it depends. And every time I asked him a question, he said it depends, and he wanted me to think about it, which is great.
Well, the word that you see in roadcraft, if you ever read that, and I'm not suggesting you do, because it's another level of confusion, is consider. Always consider. Consider this situation, consider the differences this will make. Basically, it means keep planning.
Yeah.
And if there's a reason to not do something, don't do it. If there's a reason where you're gaining an advantage from doing something, consider doing it. You don't have to do it, you just have to consider it.
Right.
So it's all what you decide to do. What we try and do is put the tools in the box, you decide how to use them, because it's really relevant to you even 50 yards in front of me, things will be different for you than they are for me, or could well be. So a decision you make might not necessarily be mirrored by me.
Yep.
Things change. So your decisions based on IPSCA and everything you're learning.
Okay, thank you.
Looking a lot better now.
Right, good. All right, excellent.
So think about your gears.
Yeah.
I've been sort of trying to count them, but
well, generally when I'm in town, under 30, I'm in second. When? Yeah.
You probably could be in third.
I could be in third, right? Okay.
I mean, I've not got your model of RT, but I have got an RT.
Yeah.
With a 6-speed box.
You'd be in third, would you?
I'd probably be in third.
So in a village.
I've got bags of torque.
Yeah.
And it just gets too busy.
Right, yeah.
Machine sympathy.
Right, so then when I'm up to, let's say 50, I'm generally, on a sort of a curvy road, I'm generally in third because I want the advance of the engine braking, but I'm now sort of starting to get more into fourth.
I'd have certainly thought about fourth.
Would you? Right.
Even if in a road like this, I mean, I do know this road quite well, most of it you could probably do in fifth, but I wouldn't suggest that you go straight from what you're used to up 2 gears, because you will lose a lot of engine braking, and as you start to shut off to go into a bend, you'll probably find you're going in too hot. Yeah. So gradually work that.
Okay. So a bit busier then in that sense, with the head.
Not to the point where you're not focusing on what's going ahead.
Yeah.
But you certainly, to see you're looking. I know when we pulled out of the turning where we went in the Wilby village, you did a left.
Yes.
You did a very distinct right-hand look.
Yes.
I would have expected that because we're pulling in relatively parallel to the junction.
Yes.
If you're more sort of that way, then you'd have had to be even further back to do that peripheral check. Yeah. But because we're like that, you still did almost a 90. So I know you have to, for certain circumstances, you might have to do it for more. And maybe that's going to make your right-handers flow better. Yeah, okay. The tyre's going to help a lot.
Well, I'm going to change that,
You're
definitely.
Have more confidence when you know you've got a new tyre.
Yes.
Give it 100 miles to scrub it in properly.
Righto.
And if you fit it on a wet day, 200 miles.
Right.
Because they don't wear the same way in the wet as they do in the dry. And also, be far more ginger on a new tyre. I'll tell you when you get it fitted, but you have to run in new tyres on bikes. And if it's in the least bit greasy or wet, don't challenge the tyre.
So maybe just take it out on a dry day in that sense.
Dry day is much better, because you can wear the little wear marks off very fast. Yeah. But the basic is the polish. See, they're nice shiny things in the rack. That's not a nice shiny thing. No. Yeah, when your nice shiny thing's got that colour, it'll have some grip. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the advice. Everything's learning, Jeff. There's just so much, you know. It's bound to be. And as I say, don't think you're not, because you are. Just the improvement in the last sort of 4 weeks is quite substantial. Thank you. Well, I've had a lot of feedback, as you've probably seen if you watch the videos. So, okie dokie. I'll try and do that. Thank you, Jeff. Anyway, right. All right. Have fun. Well, that's encouraging feedback, just to get some feedback about maybe a little bit of improvement. Lovely dry roads now, lovely spring day, probably 12 degrees, very pleasant. This is the road I came up the other day, riding the GSA in the teeth of a gale. Weather today is totally different. And we're headed towards the racehorse pub at Catworth for a well-earned breakfast. Yeah, this weather a little bit of the taste of the things to come, because really since I've had the bike I've been in winter, so I'm assuming it's going to become a whole different experience when the weather improves.
Right-hander. Stay out, stay out, stay out. No need really, the view is open to me. What a beautiful day. Super road surface as well. And there's Journey's End. What a lovely piece of road that is, isn't it? It's like giving a pig a straw. Yeah, it's like giving a pig a strawberry though, giving me a piece of road like that. Well, headed home. Different sort of pace today to the Observe. Always worth listening to Jeff. Got so much experience. Literally hundreds of thousands of miles under his belt. And an IAM master to boot. So wants to see me visibly moving my head a little more to the left or to the right, just to let the observer know that I am actually using my mirrors, and also a little more confidence on the right-handers. As I say, we're going to get the that front tyre changed, so maybe I'll make a film of that. We'll just see whether that makes a difference to my right-hand cornering. I've got to be honest, the bike does not feel as planted on right-handers as it does on left. So if that solves the problem, or at least goes part way towards improving my right-handers, I shall be very happy bunny indeed. But anyway, that's me, back to the biker, signing off. Thanks for tuning in. As always, look forward to your comments, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.